started 17, 18, 19, 20. These are 4 days. Still, I think it's a good idea. If you haven't taken any vow, try to take a vow and try to increase your sadhana. So it can be both focusing on increasing the positive or reducing the negative, or the combination of both. Right? For example, what are the things for increasing the positive? Example of increasing the positive: more number of rounds, more reading, right? Getting up for the Mangal Aarti, maybe going to a temple once a day or every day. So it can be any of those things, right? That's a positive. We are adding something to do more for Krishna. That's one. And what is negative? Reducing the negative. What does it mean?
Spending time on phone.
Yeah, yeah. So yes, so lot of devotees, they say that okay, I'm not going to eat sweet. Like somebody is very fond of sweet. It's a good thing, right? Okay, it's good for your health also, that I'm not going to touch any sweet. Or some devotees, they say that I'm only going to eat Ekadashi Prasad all the 30 days. Some could take even more, like okay, I'll only eat the fruits. So basically trying to control their senses. So negative means try to control our senses, which is because the more we involve our senses, it becomes harder to move forward, right? So they try to control their senses. Some will say I'll maintain the celibacy, or means there can be so many things which we can pick, and we try to do it, and you'll see the improvement. You'll see the improvement, guaranteed. Okay, so everybody, I'll request, pick something that what you are doing and share with me personally. Okay, share what you are doing. So that way, when we make somebody accountable, right? We say that okay, I'm sharing with somebody, then it becomes much easier. For example, one of my friend in my previous class, he was struggling with the japa going up and down. Now I've asked him every day. He sent me how many rounds of japa he has done. Right. So that is like it's becoming accountability. Oh, what Prabhu? Am I going to tell Prabhu I haven't done any japa? So he sends me. Right. So if you can make anybody accountable, say that okay, I'll be accountable to you. I'll send you this. So that way it improves. So they are the techniques which people use. All right. So I'll pray to all of you. Use this month to improve your sadhana. And Lord is very, very merciful, very kind. One step we take, He takes 10 steps. Right. And you remember what is the verse we read in fourth chapter on this? Anybody remembers?
ये यदा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तां तदेव भजामि.
Very good. What is the verse number, Prabhuji? What, Mataji? 11. Yeah, as all surrender unto me, I reward them. Yeah. It is chapter 4, verse 11. Ye atha mam prapadyante tam tateva bhajamiyam. So he says, as all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respect, ocean of pritha. So as all surrender unto me. So if we take one step, Lord will take 10 steps towards us, right? And we don't even realize that how Lord has come into our life. We don't even realize. So initially, we will say that, oh, I'm not able to focus on my chanting, my mind is going hell and shelter. But seeing that we are chanting, that's the first step. We are chanting. We were doing something, now we are chanting, right? Let's say I was eating everything outside and everywhere. Now I said, no, I have a more controlled diet, right? And sometimes I think even about Krishna. Before I was not thinking. Sometimes I think that what I am eating, so you see how our mind is changing, but we don't realize because these are small things keeps adding, and then one day you will see that you are a totally your friend, your parents will notice that you are totally a different person than who you were. Okay, so my kind request, please focus, work towards this wonderful life. Okay, your life will means it will reward you in a way which we haven't even thought. Okay, which is no cycle of birth and death, and in the current life you'll see how your family is much happier, your kids are much happier, right? Your marriage much better. You'll see all those small material things also coming, even though we don't aspire for these material things, but those are side effects you are going to get. Okay, now for so last week we covered up to verse 24. So, quick review. So we started with chapter 4, where Krishna explains about the parampara system. He says that how he imparted the knowledge, and knowledge was always there, but it appeared lost. So Lord again has come and to deliver, right? So that we have talked about. Then Arjuna asked that how do I understand that you remember everything, even though you are equal to me, and you are telling you remember everything. Then Lord talks about his appearance, and he tells that anybody who understands his appearance and disappearance, they will be freed from the cycle of life and death, birth and death. And why is that? Why is that they will be free from the cycle of birth and death?
Because they
The one
understood
who knows the like Lord's real nature, they would have been with Lord in his loka. They yeah.
So it's not that means they have been with Loka. See, by generating this, because many times we think that, oh, Lord looks like us, he came, then he must be born, right? That is telling that how materially we think. Now, once we understand that Lord is eternal, he appears for the pleasure of the devotees, to take care of the miscreants, right? To protect us. Personally, he comes. Now I am developing that feeling, and I know that, and I have a full faith in that feeling. Then Lord, then I'm advancing, and I'm knowing that who Lord is. So, right, so just by saying that, what Krishna is telling, that the person who knows about my mysterious appearance and disappearance, they really understand who Lord is. Means we understand the knowledge of the Lord, right? When we understand the knowledge of the Lord, naturally we are not going to take birth again, because then we are always remembering Krishna all the time. And then we are going to study in chapter 8 that the person who remembers what we remember, whatever is our consciousness at the time of the death, that's what we get, right? So it will get connected. But just to understand that Lord is not unlike us. He is a person. He appears for our own benefit. He does the pastime for our own benefit so that we can really get attracted towards him. That will grow us, and that's the reason we won't be taking the birth again. Okay. Now then, Lords, we read, and as person is understood the Lord's mysterious appearance and disappearance, their anger, greed, all those things will be getting destroyed. They will be becoming pure devotee. And then Lord is telling that as one reciprocate, means I reciprocate depending on how people are coming towards me, like just the words we read, right? And then uh, Krishna talks about how some of the people that they worship demigod for quick result, and Krishna talked about the four varnas also, and the four varnas are not a caste system. The caste system we discussed, that is created by the selfish materialistic people who said, oh, I'm Brahman, so all my family member are Brahman. But it is based on what? It is based on
gunas,
gunas.
qualities.
Yes, it is based on the gunas, right? So uh, and then last time we talked about the how to do the work, right? The intricacies of karma and akarma, right? So we talked about action in action and inaction in action. So what does it mean? Anybody can explain it? What does it mean? Action in inaction and inaction in action? Give me an example. Give me an example.
Eating prasadam is action in action.
Yes. Okay.
Inaction in action.
Inact. So typically when we say action, we mean that we are doing something. And when we are doing something, it means there is always some karma. Because if I'm walking, I'll trample on some insects, even some microorganism. We are getting some karma, right? So whenever we do some action, there's always some reaction. But There is way to do action when we don't get any karma. That's what it means. In action, in action. Okay. So how? So Prabhu gave an example. When I eat something, I get karma. That because I killed somebody. Even if I'm eating I'm vegetarian, and but I'm eating the plants. They have the soul. So I'm getting some karma. But when it is offered to Lord and then we eat the prasad, then we don't get any reaction. So now it becomes inaction. Right? It becomes a karma. So similarly, we can apply that principle in everything. In our job, if we are using that money for Krishna service, we are doing charity. Whatever is required for family, I'm taking good care of the family. Right? I'm not overindulging, I'm not greedy. Then the money which I'm earning, that also won't lead to reactions. Okay? I'm honest, ethical, right? All those things. So whatever, then let's say I have a family and children. Now people can use the family for sense gratification. It's my family. I will use them any way I want. Right? But now the same family members, if we are worshipping the Krishna along with them, we are going to a temple, we are conversing about Krishna in the family, the kids are learning about it, they are also performing those actions. Now the whole family is spiritualized. It is not for the sense gratification. It is for the progress towards Krishna. You understand? Inaction in action. And then opposite, action in inaction. Give me an example of, so we think that if I'm sitting just like that, I'm not doing any action. Am I getting karma or not?
We are getting sin for not doing karma.
Yes, so I make, so it all depends on the intention. If I'm just sitting, not doing anything, where I was supposed to go and do some family work, need to take care of the family. I was supposed to go and do some service. Then I'm not utilizing the instrument which Lord has given me. He's given me this body, He's given me intelligence. I'm not utilizing it. I'm going to get karma for that. I'm being lazy. I'm sleeping all the time. I'm going to get karma for that. And we understand if the kids are not going to school and they are sleeping all the time, then what's going to happen? They will fail in the exam. Same for us. We will fail in the exam, our final exam, when we die. Okay, so that becomes action in inaction. So we should make sure that we understand this concept that a karma doesn't mean that I am sitting idle. A karma means that I'm utilizing everything for Krishna service. And this is where we had talked a very important concept that what is Maya? When we say Maya, what is Maya? Does anybody recall what we talk in the same, we use the same concept to talk about Maya. What is Maya?
Forgetting Krishna itself is going towards Maya or captured by Maya.
Forgetting Krishna? Yes. So anything which is not in relationship with Krishna is Maya. Very simple. Anything which is connected with Krishna is not Maya. It is real. Anything which is not connected with Krishna is Maya. Now, for example, my wife. Let's say I'm using my sense gratification. Then she becomes Maya. Because now I'm indulging in and then I'm not doing, means I'm not focusing on Krishna. Then that's Maya. While the same person now is like I'm linking that with Krishna. Oh, she has come in my life because Krishna wanted her to be with me so that we both can work together and work toward Krishna. Now we are helping each other progress towards Krishna. Now that person has become touched with Krishna. Now she is not Maya. So family life can be Maya, depending on our intention and how we act. And the same family life can be Krishna consciousness. You understand? The people who are only working for family, that my wife, my child, my husband, they are called Graha Medhi. Graha Medhi. They're attached to the family. They think that is all. That is all in the family. This is all in the manifestation. I'm living the best life. they are caught up in the Maya. They will be taking birth as man, woman, animal, depending on all their karma. They will be going through this karmic action and reaction. The same family, they all can go back to Krishna if they connect their daily duty with Krishna. So they become Krishna consciousness. Very simple concept. Everybody understood it? Next time I ask, you will be able to answer this? Okay. All right. So let's make progress. So before we go to the next section, which is attaining jnana through yajna. So sacrifice. What is sacrifice? Before we start this section, what do you understand when I say sacrifice? What does it mean?
Giving up some comforts to gain something.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Good answer. So okay, sacrifice. Sacrifice means giving up something to achieve something higher. Right? So just think, as a mother, Sonali Mataji, are you sacrificing something? Or as a wife, are you sacrificing something? So let me. So Mataji, you are sacrificing your time, your so-called freedom, because you are spending time to take care of your daughter. You could have done something else. You could have gone for a movie. You could have done something. Similarly, you're cooking for your husband, taking care that he's healthy. You could have done something else. You could have gone to talk to his friends. You're browsing internet, doing some shopping. You could have done, right? But you are not doing. So that's called sacrifice. You are sacrificing your time for the higher purpose. So I'm just trying to explain what does the sacrifice mean. So we all, if we love somebody, we sacrifice something. And the biggest thing we sacrifice is our time. When we love something, we sacrifice something, right? So you are sacrificing your time to take care of your family as a mother and as well as a wife. Okay. So achieving higher. So Krishna is telling now that next section is he's going to be talking about a different kind of sacrifice to achieve higher. So think that so there are different kind of yoga system, right? There is different way of sacrificing. How to understand it? The purpose of each of the sacrifice is to please God. Look at the last line. There, Lord Krishna is not going to explain different types of sacrifices. There are different activities, but the purpose of all this is to please God, right? So purpose of all these activities is to please God. And so how this section is divided? So it is going to talk about the demigod worship, then Brahman worship, then the mind control, sense enjoyment, self-control, charity, austerity, mysticism, study of the scripture, and pranayama. Okay, so if every verse we'll be talking about, all right, and then we will then try to link it all together. All right. With that, let's start.
Prabhu, are you sharing the screen?
Am I not?
Not.
Oh,
Me.
sorry. Oh, you should have told me. I was just showing the PowerPoint. Okay, sorry. That was, I think I stopped sharing and then I didn't share it, I think. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, now you'll be able to see.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, and I was sharing the, this is behaving like this. Okay, this is the slide I was sharing, sorry. So let me share for the, okay, I think I have to minimize it. Okay, so this is the slide I was sharing. Sacrifice means giving up something to achieve something higher. Okay, and Lord Krishna is now going to explain different types of sacrifice. There are different activities. The purpose of all this is to please God. And then I was sharing this slide, which is different verses demigod worship, Brahman worship, mind control, sense enjoyment, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Now,
Yes, Prabhu.
thank you, Prabhuji, for reminding. Devam eva para yagyam yoginam parupasate brahma jnanava pare yagyam yagyene vope juhati. Some yogis perfectly worship the demigods by offering different sacrifices to them, and some offer sacrifices in the fire of the Supreme Brahman. So, some yogis perfectly worship the demigod by offering different sacrifices to them, and some offer sacrifices in the fire of the Supreme Brahman. So, he's telling that. So, who are yogis, right? So, let's go over the some of the highlight of the purport. Those who are in Krishna consciousness sacrifice all material possession for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. While others who want some temporary material happiness sacrifice their material possession to satisfy demigods such as Indra, the sun god, etc. And others who are impersonalist sacrifice their identity by merging into the existence of impersonal Brahman. So see, so the people who want the material, who wants something, they're giving material possession, right? So we do the puja, so we give the remuneration to the some dakshina to the pujari Brahman. We use the ghee, everything, all this material. So we are putting something, some position. So it takes some money to do the puja. So there is a sacrifice, and then in return, if we do it properly, then the demigod for whom we are doing it, they will reward something if the puja has been done properly. And similarly, so the people who are inclined towards the Brahman realization, right, the impersonal Brahman, they sacrifice their identity because they want to merge. So they're telling that I, I'm nobody. I means my identity means I'm going to take my identity, my soul, and I'm going to merge it with the Brahman. So they are sacrificing that. So those who are interested in material benefit worship the demigods by various sacrifice according to the Vedic ritual. They are called Bhava Ishvara Vadi. Okay, they are called. So those who are interested in material benefits worship the demigods by various sacrifices according to the Vedic rituals. They are called Bhava Ishvara Vadi, like believers in many gods. So this is where our Sanatan Dharma, which emphasizes one God and all subordinate demigods, right? It was converted by the demigod worshippers into many gods. Right? And that's what Hindu religion become, that oh, they are believer in many gods. And that is not the right Sanatana Dharma. There is only one God, but there are many demigods. They are all demigods, they are for different purposes. But they are not God, they are not Ishvara. In other words, the fruity workers sacrifice their material possession for material enjoyment, whereas the impersonalist sacrifices material designation with a view to merging into the existence of the Supreme. The Krishna conscious person like Arjun, however, sacrifices everything for the satisfaction of Krishna. So the Krishna conscious person like Arjuna, however, sacrifices everything for the satisfaction of Krishna, and thus all his material possession as well as his own self, everything is sacrificed for Krishna. Thus he is the first class yogi, but he does not lose his individual existence. So now the question, why Prabhupada wrote this? What is the reason why Prabhupada is writing these last 4 lines into this purport?
He's talking beyond Brahman sacrifice, like in the form of Krishna also you can do the sacrifice.
Yeah, so basically he's telling that Krishna's devotee, they are also yogi, because we typically think yogi means I am doing some fire sacrifice, I am doing some puja, some archana. That's the model, right? If I am a seeker, impersonal seeker, I'm going to take my identity and merge into the Brahman. While people here, the Krishna worshippers, they are doing something like that. They are going to the work, they are taking care of the family, they are doing the maybe arti or something. It seems that they're not doing anything. But what yogi, what Prabhupada is telling, first of all, Krishna worshippers are yogi. And why they are yogi? Because they have given themselves. Forget about giving their material things. They have given themselves to Krishna. They are the biggest yogi. And you are going to see that in chapter 6. After Krishna explains all the yoga system, then he talks about that why the bhakti yoga is the highest. Okay? So Krishna devotee, they are sacrificing themselves. And how we sacrifice? Through our services. So that's the reason we say that if we love Krishna, we should do something for Krishna. And if we keep doing things, our life is only for doing things for Krishna, taking care of the people, thinking they're part and parcel of Krishna, taking care of the family, thinking they're part and parcel of Krishna, doing my work because I think that work has been assigned to me by Krishna. That's Krishna mercy. And the output, what I'm going to use, what I'm going to get, I'm going to use it for Krishna. So everything is for Krishna. What is mine? Nothing. This home is Krishna's. This house is for Krishna, right? So that's the Krishna consciousness. That's the reason why Prabhupada is telling that Krishna's devotees, they are yogi and they are the biggest yogi.
Prabhuji, there is one more point I wanted to add here.
Yes,
If you
Prabhu.
could scroll
Yes,
up a
Prabhu.
little bit.
Scroll up, okay.
Yeah. So it also says, but he does not lose his individual existence. I think Prabhupada also wanted to say that some, I think Mayavadi philosophers think that we merge into Lord and become one. But in chapter 2, Sri Krishna says, all these kings always existed. You existed and me existed and will always exist as individual souls. So I think that's
Yes.
also.
So yeah. So good point. So Brahmans, the Brahmavadi or the Mayavadi, they they put their identity. So Krishna is telling that even though, because they are considered to be higher than the materialistic people, right? So people, there is a demigod worship. Higher than that is the people who are worshipping the Brahman, right? And Krishna, and what the bhakti yogi, they are higher than all these. And even though they are higher than that, they don't lose their identity. So still we maintain our identity as the individual soul, part and parcel of the soul, and still the bhakti yogi are higher than those other types of yogi. So good point, Prabhu. Okay. So next verse. Shrotradini indriyani anye sangya mangani nishujuhati
Juhvati
sabdadin vishayan anya
Shabdadin Vishyananya
indriyayagnishu juhati.
Indriyagni Shujuhvati.
Some, the unadulterated brahmacārīs, sacrifice the hearing process and the senses in the fire of mental control. And others, the regulated householders, sacrifice the object of the senses in the fire of the senses. Now you see, again, this seems like convoluted, right? But very important. Just try to understand. So what the brahmachari, so they are comparing two, here Krishna is comparing two different personalities. One is brahmachari, other is grihasthas. And what the brahmachari sacrifice? Hearing process. So brahmachari, their goal is to learn knowledge, acquire knowledge. So they are sacrificing all the time. They're trying to learn, hearing process, and the senses. Of course, they are doing the sense control, right? In the fire of the mental control, because they have to control their mind. Because mind is going to go do this, do that, do that. So they are controlling their mind. But how? By acquiring knowledge, by listening process, and then by controlling the senses. By that, they are controlling the mind. How the grihasthas are doing? What is their sacrifice?
The sense enjoyment.
Yes, they are sacrificing their sense enjoyment. So the object of the senses, right? So I like something. I like things. I like my house. I like my car, right? I like my family members. So they are sacrificing the object, the things which is attracting us in the fire of the senses. Okay, so Kara's life is a life of a yogi, renunciate. So it's a grahast ashram. It's a reason called ashram. It is not a thing for the sense gratification. And if we use it for sense gratification, then typically many things will happen. Of course, we are not going back to the Godhead. We are in the cycle of birth and death. We will be welcoming all kind of misery in our life. Because that's the nature of the world. Okay. So the members of the four divisions of human life, namely the brahmachari, the grahastha, the vanaprastha, and sannyasi, are all meant to become perfect yogis or transcendentalists. Since human life is not meant for our enjoying sense gratification like the animals, the four orders of human life are so arranged that one may become perfect in spiritual life. So this is a very important point. Everything, please understand, everything which is created in this material world, if done right, it will elevate us back to Krishna. If done right. And for that we need to have knowledge, and Bhagavad Gita is that book of knowledge. Bhagavad Gita is not a religious book. It's not for Hindus, it's not for Muslims, it's not for Christians, it's not for those designations, it's for everybody. I can practice anything, and this book is for me. Okay, so everything is linked. If it's linked with Krishna, then it will elevate us towards Krishna. So it's a very important. So material world, so that's the nature of the material world. That's the reason in material world people can be very happy and people can be very unhappy also. A brahmachari hears only words concerning Krishna consciousness. Hearing is the basic principle for understanding. He restrains himself from the vibration of material sounds, right? So brahmachari is not singing and listening about the songs, anything like that, right? Similarly, the householders who have some license for sense gratification, hear carefully, who have some license for sense gratification, perform such acts with great restraints. Sex life, intoxication, and meat eating are general tendency of human society, but a regulated householder does not indulge in unrestricted sex life and other sense gratification. So marriage life is a yagya. That's the reason why we say that in joke we say that purification, when the husband and wife are having difficult days or they're not completely aligned with each other's thoughts, or they're not talking to each other, they are going through the purification process. Because ego is coming in the picture. That's the reason why one person doesn't like the other person. Because wife says something, husband doesn't like. Husband says something, wife doesn't like. Let's say there's ego. What do you understand? Means why you are saying this? This is my viewpoint, right? We don't understand. So once we start understanding other points of view, or we start tolerating it, we are getting purified. We are getting purified. This restricted, unattached sex life is also a kind of yagya, because the restricted householder sacrifices general tendency towards sense gratification for higher transcendental life. Okay? This is a very important point. Sharvani indriyani karmani
Sarvani indriya karmani
prana karmani chapare
prana karmani chapare
atma samyama yogyagnu
atma sanyamya yogadno
chuvati jnana deepiti.
jyuvati jnana deepate.
Others who are interested in achieving self-realization through control of the mind and senses offer the functions of all the senses and of the life breath as oblations into the fire of the controlled mind. Who Krishna is talking about here?
Ashtanga yogi.
Astanga yogi. Krishna is talking about. So what Astanga yogi offers? They offer the life breath, because the purpose of Astanga yogi is to control the life air. There are 10 different kind of life air. So they control and they send it in the opposite direction. And after controlling, they neutralize the life air, and then they take the life air, they go and take it up, and then they bring it to over here, and then from here, then they can release their prana. Right, so that's how. And then by using prana, then they go to the higher planet, higher planet, higher planet. From there, they go to the next planet, and so and then when the whole dissolution happens, they go within Vishnu. Right, so that is the mark of the Ashtanga yogi. So that's what they are sacrificing. So here, let's read the purport. The Patanjali system of yoga instruct one on how to control the function of the body there in a technical manner, so that ultimately all the functions of the air within become favorable for purifying the soul of material attachments. Right, the same prana vayu, because we are contaminated, right? It can become a way for us to keep on this earth planet, while the same prana vayu can work in a way to detach us, right? So that's what the purpose of what the Ashtanga yoga, that's the Ashtanga yoga does, try to detach. According to this yoga system, Pratyag Atma is the ultimate goal. Pratyag Atma. This Pratyag Atma is withdrawn from activities in matter. The senses interact with the sense object, like the ear for hearing, eyes for seeing, nose for smelling, tongue for tasting, and hand for touching, and all of them are thus engaged in activity outside the self. They are called the function of the prana vayu. The apana vayu goes downwards. Vyana vayu acts to shrink and expand. Syamana vayu adjusts equilibrium. Uddana vows goes upwards, and when one is enlightened, one engages all these in searching for self-realization. This is all technical. You don't need to understand. You don't need to remember. What if one thing you can understand from this is the science behind each yoga system is the love of the God. Some may take this very convoluted route, longer route. Some can go in a straight line. Okay, but the purpose of all the yoga system is love of the Godhead. Next, Dravya Yagnastapo Yagna,
Dravya yagyastapo yagya,
Yoga Yagnastatha Pare,
yoga yagyasthatha pare,
Swadhyaya Jnana Yagnascha,
swadhyaya jnana yagyasya,
Yathaya Samashrista
yata yasanshitvrataha.
Having accepted strict vows, some becomes enlightened by sacrificing their possession, and others by performing severe austerities. By practicing the yoga of eightfold mysticism, or by studying the Vedas to advance in transcendental knowledge. So again, having accepted strict vows, some become enlightened by sacrificing their possession. So the material people, right? They are sacrificing their possession, and others by performing severe austerities, like yogis going in the jungle, jnana yogis, or or by practicing the yoga of the eightfold mysticism, which is the Ashtanga yoga, or by studying the Vedas to advance in transcendental knowledge, jnanis, right? So they all have the strict vows to practice. So various kinds of charitable institutions like Dharmasala, Annachetra, Atiti Sala, Anathalaya, Vidyapeeth. So this is how the materialistic person, they sacrifice their money, right? And they say that, "Oh, I'm going to open these things," and that's the sacrifice they are making. All these charitable activities are called Dravya Maya Yagya. Dravya Maya, right? So Dravya is called Maya. So Dravya Maya is putting in the Yagya, sacrifice. There are still others who engage themselves in different kind of mystic yoga, like the Patanjali system, for merging into the existence of the absolute, or Hatha yoga or Ashtanga yoga for particular perfection. And some travel to all the sanctified places of pilgrimage. All these practices are called yoga yagya. Okay. Krishna consciousness, however, is different from these because it is in direct service of the Supreme Lord. Krishna consciousness cannot be attained by any one of the above mentioned type of sacrifice, but can be attained only by the mercy of the Lord and his bona fide devotees. So all the above yagyas, right? They can ultimately, the best they can do is do the liberation. That's the best they can do. But none of the yoga system can lead to the pure love of Godhead. Okay, so they get you to the place from where, means all these yoga system, from where one can start practicing the pure love. While the Krishna conscious process, from the very beginning, it is designed to love the Godhead. Initially in an imperfect way, because the devotee is not pure. So they are practicing loving the God in an imperfect way with their impurity. But as they keep doing it, they are becoming pure, pure, pure. And then when they are fully pure and they are loving the God, what they were doing on day one, on the day N, also they are doing the same thing, which is loving the God, but they have gone from being imperfect, impure to the fully pure. You understand what the Krishna conscious, how the purity is coming, right? So Krishna consciousness is above all of these things, and that's what Krishna is Prabhupada is talking about. And it is a direct service. So all the sacrifices are indirect. We are giving and you see in chapter 5, Krishna is telling that whatever sacrifice is being made, it is made to me. In chapter 5, Krishna is going to tell. Okay, now here the devotees, because they are doing the direct service to the Lord, so they are sacrificing themselves directly. Okay, text 29. Everybody is with me? Any question? Okay.
One thing would make me laugh.
Apane juhati pranam.
पाने जुह्वति प्राणम्
Prane panam tatha pare.
प्राणपानं तथा परे
Pranapana gati rudva.
प्राणपानं गतिरुत्वा
Pranayama prayana.
प्राणायाम परायणः
Apare niyata hara.
अपरे नियताहारा
Pranana praneshu juhati.
प्राणेषु जुह्वति.
Still others who are inclined to the process of breath restraint to remain in trance practice by offering the movement of the outgoing breath into the incoming and the incoming breath into the outgoing, and thus at last remain in trance, stopping all breathing. Others, curtailing the eating process, offer the outgoing breath into itself as a sacrifice. So they are different. These are different kind of yogi. Again, you see how they are controlling the life air, outgoing air and inward coming. They are trying to bring it together and neutralize each other, right? And they're trying to be in suspended state and they're in a trance. Okay, so that's one. And the other yogi they are trying to curtail their eating process. They don't eat anything, like they survive on the air. So they are offering the outgoing breath into itself as a sacrifice. So all of these processes are recommended for controlling the senses and for advancement in spiritual realization. This practice involves controlling the airs within the body so as to reverse the direction of their passage. This is little technical. The apana air goes downward and the prana air goes up. The pranayama yogi practices breathing the opposite way until the currents are neutralized into puraka, which is equilibrium, right? So they take the apana air is going downward, they try to bring it upward. Prana air is goes up, they are trying to bring it downward, and then they're trying to merge it, they neutralize into puraka, equilibrium. Offering the exhaled breath into the inhaled breath is called rachaka. When both air currents are completely stopped, one is said to be in the Kumbhaka Yoga. By practice of Kumbhaka Yoga, one can increase the duration of life for perfection in spiritual realization. The intelligent yogi is interested in attaining perfection in one's life without waiting for the next. You see, all these processes of adding the longevity in one's life, what is the purpose of that? What is the purpose of Kumbhaka Yoga?
They can attain more knowledge and they can get to that samadhi state to experience the Brahman.
So the purpose is to elongate the life so that they can perfect their practice, yogi practice, and they can go back to Godhead. So the purpose of elongating the life is not for sense gratification. The purpose for elongating the life using the Kumbhaka yoga and such is to go back to Godhead by perfecting our practices. Right? So see, everything which is created in this world, all yoga system, that is created for us as a tool to go back to Godhead. All the yoga system. Okay? A Krishna conscious person, however, being always situated in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, automatically becomes the controller of the senses. See, they are all trying to control the senses by using the yogic method. Now, but the Krishna conscious person is already controlling all the senses. How they are controlling all the senses?
They are eating prasadam. They are sacrificing all that.
They are utilizing all their senses for the pleasure of the Krishna. Right? So they are serving for Krishna, they are eating for Krishna because Krishna Prasad, right? They are taking care of their family members, thinking that their family members belongs to Krishna. Right? So this is how they are sacrificing all their senses. So his senses, being always engaged in the service of Krishna, have no chance of becoming otherwise engaged. So at the end of the life, he is naturally transferred to the transcendental plane of Lord Krishna. Consequently, he makes no attempt to increase his longevity. He is at once raised to the platform of liberation. So Krishna conscious person, that's the reason we say that, oh, our Krishna conscious person is stupid. They are not doing all this yogi siddhi. No, they're very smart because they are saying that, why do I need to increase the longevity of my life? I'm going to use all my senses, everything for the Krishna service. And then the end of the life, I'll be keep doing that. And then during that process, I'll go back to Krishna. And once I go back to Krishna, again what I am going to do? Same thing which I was doing here, but I'm not doing in the pure state, in the transcendental body. Right now I have a material body, I'm doing it. Once I go back to Godhead, then I'll have a transcendental body and I'm serving the Lord. You live happily ever after, right? Here, they lived happily ever after. Text 30. Sarve api ite yagna vido. Yagna shapite kalmashaha.
Yagna shapita kalpasha.
Yagyasista shishtamrita bhujo.
Yagna shishtamrita.
Yanti brahma sanatanam.
Yanti
Yanti Brahma Sanatana.
All these performers who know the meaning of sacrifice become cleansed of sinful reaction, and having tasted the nectar of the result of sacrifices, they advance towards the supreme eternal atmosphere. So all these performers who know the meaning of sacrifice become cleansed of sinful reaction, and having tasted the nectar of the results of sacrifices, they advance towards the supreme eternal atmosphere. So see, all through the yogi process, what they are doing, they are trying to get themselves cleansed of the sinful reaction and get to a state from where they can start practicing the Krishna consciousness. Because to practice the pure Krishna consciousness, one has to be pure, right? So that's the method, that's the yogi method which they are following, which is again given by Krishna. So Krishna has given different processes for the different kind of people. One question, if I ask, why Krishna has given all these different kind of method, why he didn't give only one method? If Krishna conscious method is only one, why didn't he give only that method? Why did he give this yogi method, that yogi method, that yogi method? Why?
lot of liberty choosing.
What is the answer?
Freedom. Choose.
Freedom to choose. Yes, so because they are different propensity in different individuals. And Krishna is so compassionate, he doesn't force us to use, whether we use any of those methods, that is leaves on us, on our will, limited will, or what method we use, he leaves on our limited will. But then when we read what Krishna, even though Krishna has given everything, but then we are reading the Krishna opinion. which is Bhagavad Gita directly when he spoken, because Vedas are Krishna's word, which is transferred to Brahmaji. Brahmaji gave it to next and next and next, and then Vyasadev, and Vyasadev wrote all the knowledge and put into the Vedas, right? So it's Krishna's words, right? But then Krishna came and he gave the small narrative on that of all the things, what is the shortest path? Which is the path of Bhagavad Gita, which is the path of Krishna consciousness. Okay, so Krishna is very kind. He has given the method for different kind of people. And just think, if you really want to see through the example, so I can, if I am fat, I have to lose weight. What different method can I use? Tell me, which exists in the world today. I can go to the gym, or modern gym, Gold's Gym or Pro Club Gym or whatever gym. I can go use the weights, run.
Control food.
That's one. Okay. Second method is control food. So what I eat, that's the second method. What is the third method?
Weight loss medications.
Medications, weight loss medication, that's the third method. What is the other method? The people can do yoga. Yoga, you lose the weight. Pranayama, you can lose the weight. Right? Not eating at all, we can lose the weight. Right? People do dieting. Right? So all different methods. They have the pros and cons. And all methods, they will lead to some result. Right? If done sincerely. Similarly, think like that. But then there is a better methods also, right? Of losing the weight where there is no negative. If you can find a method which doesn't have a negative and which leads to the goal, then that is the right method. That is the best method. So you can see that Bhakti Yoga is that kind of a method, which is that you lead your life. You want to eat, you eat, but you eat only Krishna Prasad, and you take. Of course, you add little exercise so that your body is fit to do Krishna service. I'm not exercising just to lose the weight. I'm losing the weight so that I can do Krishna service. Intention matters. I'm losing the weight. So even if, let's say, I tried and I'm like 250 pounds and I should have been 150 pounds, 100 pound extra. Even let's say if I lose 50 pounds, I'm not able to lose another 50 pounds. I'm 200 pounds. Still, I'm using to Krishna service. Krishna is allowing me to do the service. I'm happy. I'm not after that goal, though, I have to become 150 pounds. And I'm becoming miserable because I'm not able to move that last 50 pounds. And I'm going to this gym, to that gym, and this method, that method, all medicine and everything. And I'm in a misery because everything has a side effect. Okay, so just think, if we are able to understand through the practical things, then you will be able to understand the concept. Okay. Okay, so common aim of all is to control the senses. Sense gratification is the root cause of material existence. So sense gratification is the root cause of material existence. Therefore, unless and until one is situated on a platform apart from sense gratification, there is no chance of being elevated to the eternal platform of full knowledge, full bliss, and full life. So sense gratification, which is keeping us binded to this world. Nayam loko isti ayan gyashu kuto nyaya kuru satamaha.
Kuto anya kuru sattamaha.
O best of the Kuru dynasty, without sacrifice one can never live happily on this planet or in this life. What then of the next? So sacrifice is really required. Okay, without sacrifice, we have to do sacrifice. Every day we have to do sacrifice. That's the only way we can live happily. Otherwise, there won't be any happiness ever. But 32. Evam bahu vidayagna
Evam bahu vidayagya.
vitatta brahmano mukhe karma jnana vidhitan sarvan evam natva bimokshe. All these different types of sacrifices are approved by the Vedas, and all of them are born of different types of work. Knowing them as such, you will become liberated. So all these different types of sacrifices are approved by the Vedas, and all of them are born of different types of work. knowing them as such, you will become liberated. So it is the science Krishna is teaching. Let's see. I have given you all different methods. There's a purpose for each of those. There's the ultimate goal for each. He's giving pros and cons and the purpose of each of those. Okay? So throw the Bhagavad Gita, and then he will say that, okay, of these methods, here's the pros and cons, here's the pros and cons. And then, oh, here's a method which has no cons. But again, he'll say that you decide which method you want to choose. That's what Krishna is going to tell you later part in the Bhagavad Gita. So different type of sacrifices are discussed above are mentioned in the Vedas to suit the different types of worker, as we are talking about, right? Different yoga system for different kind of people. Shreyan Dravya Mayad Yagnaj Jnana Yagna Parantapa Sarvam Karma Akhilam Partha
Sarva karma akhilam partha
Jnana Parishamyapate.
jnane parisamapyate.
O chastiser of the enemy, the sacrifice performed in knowledge is better than the mere sacrifice of material possession. So the sacrifice performed is knowledge. So now Krishna has started going into which is better. The sacrifice performed is knowledge is better than the mere sacrifice of material possession. After all, O son of Pritha, all sacrifices of work culminate in transcendental knowledge. So the purpose of all sacrifice is to arrive at the status of complete knowledge. So the purpose of all sacrifice is to gain knowledge, okay? To complete knowledge. Then to gain release from material miseries, and ultimately to engage in loving transcendental service to the Supreme Lord Krishna consciousness. So once gain knowledge, and then as we are gaining knowledge, then we are engaging in loving transcendental service. And in the process, then we are getting rid of the material misery. And as we are doing it, then we are able to always be in service of Krishna with the pure love. Okay? When one's faith reaches the stage of transcendental knowledge, the performer of sacrifices should be considered more advanced than those who simply sacrifice material possession without such knowledge. For without attainment of knowledge, sacrifice remain on the material platform and bestow no spiritual benefit. Can anybody explain what this paragraph is telling?
When we perform sacrifice, if we know the meaning associated with what sacrifice we are doing, why we are doing, I think that's better than simply doing mechanically.
Very good. So just doing the ritual without understanding it is not as powerful as understanding what I am doing and having that intention in our heart, and with that doing it. Okay, so let's say right now there is Damodar Ashtam is happening. Somebody can say that, oh, it's a ritualistic thing, let's go, we'll all do the Aarti. That's one. Other, they are meditating on the Lord's form. They are knowing that, oh, this is the Kartik month, this is the time Lord performs all those wonderful pastimes, and they are thinking about it. And with that intention, they are offering the Aarti. The impact of the second class of people will be more than the first class of people. Okay? Without the elevation of knowledge, sacrifice are simply material activities. Depending on differences in consciousness, sacrificial activities are sometimes are called karma kanda. So this is what the karma kanda is. Karma kanda is all ritualistic without understanding why I'm doing it, or it is for that, hey, I want some fruitive results. So that's called karma kanda. And sometimes jnana kanda, right? I'm just doing it because I want to get something. It is better than the end. It is better when the end is knowledge. If the purpose of each of those that I would like to gain in knowledge, understanding of the Lord, then it is better than just doing the ritualistic things. Okay? So that ends the section 5. Any question on section 5? Which was attaining jnana through yajna. Any question? So here what we covered, demigod worship.
So,
Yes, Prabhuji, go ahead.
Prabhuji, so for all of us who are number one in Grihast ashram or Grihast life, and then also corporate life, what is the recommended yajna?
You tell me, Prabhuji. You are asking the question. We went through this. You tell me what Prabhupada is recommending, what Krishna is recommending.
I mean, there was one shloka where it says grihas, they control their object of desires
Object of senses, yes. Yeah.
and sacrifice into the sense itself.
Yes.
So the four restraints and then japa.
They restrain their senses. Yes.
And the japa those are the recommendations for us.
Yes, Prabhu. So the recommendation for Grihastha is that we engage. So see, when we have come in this world because we wanted to enjoy. So we have been given the senses, we are being controlled by the senses. Now, if I use so what we talked about, what is Krishna consciousness? If we use everything for the Krishna service. If it is not attached to Krishna, then that becomes Maya. If it attached to Krishna, then that becomes Krishna consciousness. So if my senses are not attached to Krishna, then that's Maya. And that will lead me, they will keep me in this. Grihastha life is full of senses gratification, right? Because it is, you have a wife, the wife has a husband, they can enjoy each other, they have the kids, they can enjoy, they can have, they can go on vacation, they earn, they go on vacation, right? So this is how you see they can enjoy this material enjoyment they can do in their grihastha life, but this is not attached with Krishna, right? So they are in Maya. Now, if you take the same senses, right? First of all, you're going to use your relationship, your wife and husband for Krishna service. Now, how one can do it? How the wife can do the Krishna service while serving the husband or the kids? Cooking food with Krishna consciousness, okay? Cooking food for Krishna consciousness and offering the family the Krishna prasadam rather than just cooking, okay? So that's one thing. What else wife can do?
Doing good parenting for the kids.
And what does the good parenting mean?
In the sense like put them in a spiritual path, right?
Yeah, giving them the good, spiritual knowledge from the very beginning, right? Good value system, good spiritual. Okay, so that's the wife is doing. What else what else the wife can do?
Encouraging family members for Shastra.
Yeah, see, the wife is the central piece of the Grihastha life. The whole family revolves around the wife. I'll say the very cultured wife. These days, the different cultures are there. Typically in our Sanatana Dharma, she is managing the whole household. Right? And that Krishna has given them those attributes. Have you seen men's? But there are some men who can do it, but most men, they are not capable of doing what wife can do, which is multitasking. She can take care of the kid here, take care of the husband also, take care of herself also. Like she is doing so many things, right? Guys are typically single focus. This typical I'm taking means there are different kind of people also where they do one by one, right? So they do it. So that's how God has created the men and women, very different way. Okay. So wife, good wife can, because she's the center of the house, she can create the very Krishna consciousness atmosphere. And it starts from the food, the kind of food we eat. It starts from there. The next is the context, how the whole family is set up, what is being planned, right? That wife is telling, okay, we'll go, either wife can say we'll go shopping, or wife can say that, I have planned something. We will do some puja, then we'll go to temple, or means something which is more meaningful, right, for the spiritual realization. So, so this is how the wife can create the whole atmosphere. She can take care of the husband needs also. It's not that she cannot so whatever the emotional and physical needs of the husband, she can take care of that in a nice way, in a very Krishna conscious way, right? Not argue. So that is the wife role. Now, what the good husband should do?
Spiritual tasks. doing?
What, Mataji?
Doing spiritual activities at home, like or engaging everybody's knowledge into.
Okay. Yeah. So see, typically between the men and the women, men has the bigger ego. Okay, their ego, like if you see most family, the men and women will fight if you hurt the men's ego, and there's a term also called men's ego, right? Hurt that, then they feel really trouble. That's because if as long as a woman is not hurting the men's ego, they may say something and they're not attacking. Oh, you're not good for anything. You cannot take care of us. You don't means those are things like so. Men's are created to be protector of the family. Women are nourishers. Women are nourishers. Men's are protector. And you say that men, you cannot protect me. You're not good for anything. That really hurts the man, typically. Okay. So men, they are the leader of the house. Okay, wife is managing the thing, right? But they are relying on their men to say that is this okay? They want to just get the set. Okay, men says yes, it's all good. Then the wife will very happy, right? Even though she's managing, she's like operation control. But then she's relying on the men as the CEO. Typical houses, not means depends, right? But that's the typical how it has been culturally it has been created. So now, if the man is being a good leader, which is guiding the family, no, this is in a nice way. I think this is not right. We should eat the Krishna prasad. Or let's say wife is trying to do the Krishna prasad and men is not cooperating, that becomes a problem, right? So men has to be a good leader. They have to be good protector, right? And let's say there will be initial differences. These are because our life is not ideal. When we are trying to grow towards Krishna consciousness, we are all coming with the different baggages. Okay, so in that case, we have to be understanding that what can work in my family. What can work in my family? Start from where it's working, which is not creating a lot of infighting, right? Which is not creating a lot of friction. Start from there and then try to sustain, then go next step, this step by step process. And when we follow the good behavior, it will lead to harmony. Krishna will guide us and we pray to Krishna, my life is not ideal. Let's say the wife is a Krishna conscious, while husband is not, or it can be vice versa, right? In that case, do whatever is possible with the good intention that I want to serve my husband or my wife in a very Krishna conscious way, right? So that's how we should approach it. Okay. So coming back to question from Santosh Prabhu is, yes, that we have to use our senses in connection with Krishna, utilize our resources, whatever we are earning in relationship with Krishna, utilize our intelligence in relationship with Krishna, right? If we use everything in relationship with Krishna, then we can lead a very good Krishna consciousness life, and our family will become a path to us going back to Godhead.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Any other questions, Prabhu Mata?
So it's okay to not do karma kanda yajna.
Yes, Prabhu. There is no need for the Krishna's devotee. There is no need to do different karma kanda. Like so, in many families, there is a culture that hey, during the month of Shraddha, you perform different rituals and all. There is no need. But if there is a family tradition and you can do it in a very Krishna conscious way, there is no harm. Let's say people are Durga worshipper in their family, people are Ganesha worshipper in their family, and that's the culture they have been living. It's okay to do it. You don't need to abandon it. If they don't do it, that's also not a problem. But if there's a culture, do it, but do it in a Krishna conscious way. What is the Krishna conscious way? Let's say if I'm a Durga worshipper, what is my Krishna consciousness way of worshipping the Durga Ma?
Make me not free from Maya.
As the external energy.
So, okay, Santosh Prabhu is telling that pray to Krishna, Durga Ma, that please save me from Maya. And she is the Maya personified. Okay, so save me. Okay, and what Prabhu you are saying, Shiva Prabhu?
we should understand that Durga Ma is a external energy of Krishna. Her duty is to, maybe control this material.
Yes. So we should understand who Durga Ma is. Yes,
Maybe in a way related.
she is the expansion of Radha Rani, and she is the Mahamaya, right? So if we approach and the worshipper goes to Durga Ma for opulences, for getting money, okay, winning over their enemies. So they go to Durga Ma for that. So instead of we say that Durga Ma, please protect me from Maya. Please help me grow in devotion. Durga Ma will award. That's the proper way to go to Durga Ma. The folks who are Ganesha worshippers. What is the right way to do the Krishna conscious practice? Why people go to Ganesh Ji?
Prabhu?
Of all obstacles.
Yes, Pragya Mataji.
Yeah, I was saying to pray to Ganeshji that he can remove the obstacles in the path of devotion, like getting Krishna's love on us. And because our anarthas are obstacles and we're not able to even see that. So helping us remove that and
Very
purify
good.
us.
Very good. Because see, Ganesh Ji, people worship because Ganesh Ji, Vigna Vinashan. He removes the Vigna, obstacles. So I can say, remove the obstacles from my life in terms of me not getting sick, or I getting more money, or in the family. So that's one way typically they worship Ganesh Ji. I can just change it, what Pragya Mataji said. Remove the obstacle from the path of bhakti. Increase my devotion. So I can manage my culture, and I'm linked Ganesh Ji's worship with Krishna. So that is, so we don't need, we sometimes think, oh, you are saying Krishna is higher. Should I leave my culture? No. Just we understand Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is telling demigods are part and parcel of Krishna. You will see more. Like in chapter 7, Krishna will start talking about what demigod worship, where the demigod worshippers are. So chapter 7 he will talk, chapter 9 he will talk. So chapter 16 he will talk. Okay. Any other question? So
And
anything other? Yes,
I
Swami.
also pray to Ganesha that give me the intelligence to understand what you wrote, like Bhagavad Gita.
Very good, very good. Because yes, that's a very good prayer. Actually, I liked it. I like that prayer because Ganesh Ji is the one who wrote all these scriptures, and if he can grant the boon that I can really understand it, wow, that's a very good prayer, Prabhu. I liked it. I liked it. Yes. Okay. So we will stop here. So today we will do the Damodar Astakam at home. Okay, here. I assume the folks who are remote, you are doing Damodar Astakam at home. If you're not, please definitely do it. It's not very difficult, very sweet prayers. Damodar Astakam ji. I think I have in my. Okay. Okay, I'll just search it. Okay, so today we'll do the other way around before we sing the prayers, because after we sing the prayers, I suppose we all will stop it and go home. So I would like us to read the translation. So even the folks who are online, they all can participate. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So okay, I'll give the. We can start here. The folks who are here first, they can try to read the meaning. So Sonali Mataji, would you like to read the first verse, the meaning of the first verse? No? No? Okay, Prabhu. Too small? You can come forward. Yeah, okay. English. Okay, Prabhu, you read. Valmiki Prabhu. आप आगे आ जाओ. आगे आ जाओ. Or you can, Or I can give you the hard copy. Here is the hard copy. That will be easier. Okay.
So I have to read to translation.
Translation, Hari. Translation it karna Prabhu. Yes, easier.
To the Supreme Lord, whose form is the embodiment of internal existence, knowledge, and bliss, whose shaped earnings are swinging to and fro, who is beautifully shining in the divine realm of Goluka, uh, who is quickly running from the wooden grinding mortar in fear of Mother Yashoda, but who has been caught from behind by her, who ran after him with greater speed. To that Supreme Lord Sri Damodara, I offer my humble obeisance.
Obeisances. Yeah. So see here, it is talking about how Krishna is running away, running, and then how Yashoda Ma is going after, and then and caught him, and to that Damodar I am offering my humble obeisances. And why? Because who can catch Krishna? Can anybody can catch Krishna? But Yashoda Ma is able to catch Krishna. The devotee can catch Krishna. That Supreme Lord, I am paying obeisances. Yes, Shiva Prabhuji. Next verse.
Seeing the wiping stick in his mother's hand, he is crying and rubbing his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes are filled with fear, and the necklace of pearls around his neck, which is marked with three lines like a conch shell, is shaking because of his quick breathing due to crying. To this Supreme Lord Sri Damodara, whose belly is bound not with the ropes but with his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisances.
Very good. See, Krishna, he is fear personified, and he is fearful of his mother, right? So it's inconceivable. So that Supreme Lord, we pray. Yes, Mataji, Shiva Mataji.
Such childhood pastime as this feels troubling the inhabitants of Gokula in the pools of ecstasy, and is revealing to those devotees who are absorbed in knowledge of his supreme majesty and opulence that he is only conquered by devotees whose pure love is imbued with intimacy and is free from all conceptions of aid and reverence. With great love, I again offer my obeisance to Lord Damodara hundreds and hundreds of times.
Thank you. So how he is taking the whole Gokul into the ecstasy, right? His pastime. Okay, Hima Mataji, 4.
O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for the boon of impersonal liberation, nor the highest liberation of eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon which may be obtained by executing the 9 processes of bhakti. O Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours as Gopala in Vrindavana may ever be manifest in my heart. For what is the use to me of any other boon besides this?
See what we can get any boon because he is the Lord of the Lord, right? We can get any boon. But the pure devotee says, I don't want anything, I only want you and your form in my heart. Okay, Punya Prabhu, number 5.
O Lord, your lotus face, which is encircled by locks of soft black hair tingled with red, is kissed again and again by Mother Yashoda, and your lips are reddish like the bimba fruit. May this beautiful vision of your lotus face be ever manifest in my heart. Thousands and thousands of other benedictions are of no use to me.
That's the beauty of Krishna. Okay, Santosh Prabhu, 6.
O Supreme Godhead, I offer my obeisances unto you, O Damodara, O Ananta, O Vishnu, O Master, O my Lord, be pleased upon me. by showering your glance of mercy upon me, deliver this poor ignorant fool who is immersed in an ocean of worldly sorrows and become visible to my eyes.
Good. And Shiva Prabhu, number 7.
O Lord Damodara, just as the two sons of Kuvera, Manigriva and Nalakuvera, were delivered from the curse of Narada and made into the great devotees by you in your form as a baby tied with rope to a wooden grinder motor. In the same way, please give to me your own Prema Bhakti. I only long for this and have no desire for any kind of liberation.
Good. So, Ravi Mataji, please करेंगे? हाँ, करो. 8.
O Lord, Damodara, at first of all offer my obeisance to the brilliantly effulgent robe which binds your body. I then offer my obeisance to your body, which is the abode of the entire universe. I humble bow down to your most beloved Srimati Radharani, and I offer all obeisance to you, the Supreme Lord, who display unlimited pastimes.
Yes. Try to meditate on this wonderful song, right? With the prayer, right? So we will sing it. Just move here. Stop sharing. Stop the recording also. Oh, actually, I should have. Okay. Stop recording and I'll share so that yes, we can sing it too.